We are now at the present-day entrance to the Palacio de los Nazires, or Nazires Palace. This area is called the Mexuard Hall. The original entrance was through the courtyard of Machuca. Note the fascinating decoration around the door, which acts as a taster of what is further inside the palace. Here in the hall of Mexuard all bureaucratic matters were dealt with. It is here that the ministers of state met. The throne sat in the centre of the hall, between the four columns that you can see. These latter have survived to modern day, despite the many changes made to this hall over time. Following the Christian conquest, the Catholic monarchy built a chapel where we can still see the wooden gallery where the choir was situated. Opposite this remains part of the altar, decorated with tiles which bear imperial motifs. In this courtyard we marvel at the fascinating facade of the Comores Palace. It was erected in 1370 by Mohammed V to celebrate the conquest of the coastal town of Algeciras. This was the entrance to the residential area of the palace, where the Sultan and his family members lived. Note the intricate detail of the plasterwork, featuring rhombuses, flora, shields and inscriptions of poetry in honour of Mohammed V. It was between the two entrance doors where the Sultan occasionally received his subjects in public audience. His family could watch these events take place without being seen as they looked on from the floors above through lattice blinds. across the way, we can see the colonnade in the Golden Room. It is made out of 3 arches supported by columns with marble capitals. This hall is called the Golden Room due to the paintings that were added during the reign of the Catholic monarchs. This was probably the place where one had to wait to get permission to enter the palace. Here you can see a large window built in Mudéjar style. This is a style which comes from the Muslims who stayed in Castile after the Reconquest. Note that the mullion and capitals are of the same style. This courtyard of the Comerdex Palace is built in the typical Arabic Andalusian style that is characterized by its rectangular shape. In this kind of courtyard, the shorter walls are usually more heavily decorated compared to the longer walls, which are of more simple design. And of course, there is always a fountain or pond. In this case, each side of the pond is flanked by 2 large myrtle hedges. This plant has a very pleasant smell and it remains green throughout the whole year. However, originally roses were planted where we now find the myrtle hedges. This courtyard is named after the hedges, as Arrayanes in Spanish means myrtle. It is also known as the Alberca courtyard. This name refers to the big pond. The southern pavilion is made out of 3 floors. The first one is made up of 7 arches. The middle arch is bigger than the others and is supported by mock Arabic capitals, whilst the other arches are supported by square capitals. On the second floor there is a large room with 7 windows covered by wooden lattice blinds. These windows are very numerous in the Nasieres Palace, as among other things, they served those who liked to watch or listen to what was going on in the courtyard without being seen. Note how the pond here acts as a big mirror. This is a feature frequently used in the architecture of the Nasieres. This mirror reflects the biggest tower of the Nasieres Palace, the 45-meter high Comerdex Tower, in which La Sala de los Embajadores, or Ambassadors' Hall, is found. Political and diplomatic affairs were probably dealt with in this courtyard. Yusuf I began the construction of this room, and it was completed by his son Mohammed V. The first floor of the northern pavilion, like its twin tower, is made up of 7 arches. Once again,